a pure space.
No, but if you ain't claiming a pure space, don't claim a space that sounds to most black people out there listening. This is the problem with these Negro intellectuals. You talking about an abstract articulation, let me finish, of grand principles and possibilities. When the woman asks you, or is in our tradition, asks you, who you gonna vote for, you stumbling and stammering. Well, hold on. What I'm saying, you had a pregnant pause. It delivered and birthed in us what I'm saying to you, and that is not neutral, as you know better than anybody else. That's not a neutral thing. And I wish that black people were political scientists who could adjudicate competing claims about rationality on the one hand and demagoguery on the other. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, the black people you're concerned about, the vulnerable people you're concerned about, can't make distinctions. If you're in a blue state or in a red state, they can't color book like that. What they have to understand is the junta that is in the offing with Donald Trump coming into office has to be resisted. Go out and vote for Hillary Clinton, because a vote for Hillary Clinton preserves the possibility that the very dialogue that Professor Glaude and I are having, the very possibility of evoking a grand tradition of Du Bois and Malcolm X and James Weldon Johnson. However, none of them got you to vote. Martin Luther King Jr., Thurgood Marshall, Ella Baker, those are the linchpins in the narrative of black resistance to white supremacy, social injustice, and economic inequality that have delivered. I agree that we should study this in class, but on your ass, you should go out and vote for Hillary Clinton, who makes a tremendous difference.
Now, this is the thing. You have to have a fundamental faith in everyday, ordinary people. What you're representing as abstract is actually condescending to them. I can imagine BYP, I can imagine Black Youth Project 100 organizing in Chicago around this particular issue. This is what you need to do. Don't worry about who's going to run, who's going to be elected, selected by the in the Democratic primary. We're going to get this DA out of office.
Let's do both.
Let's do dream defenders. No, you're trying to say what you tried to suggest is that everyday ordinary people can't distinguish between blue and red. What we're talking about is organizing.
No, I didn't say that. I said they can't distinguish the kind of abstract political principles you're talking about.
I wasn't talking about abstract principles.
In terms of if you're a red state and a blue state, I'm saying the BYP.
I'm saying organizing.
But wait a minute. But it's not either or. It's not either or.
But see, this is the thing.
But it's not either or.
If it's the case.
It's not either or,
If it's the case, Mike.
Is it either or?
Let me ask you this question.
No, I'm asking you, is it either or?
The strategic plan that I'm suggesting suggests that it isn't either or.
Okay, that's all we're saying. No,
but we agree. But see, the thing is that you're out here stumping for Clinton.
I'm out here stumping for a tradition of black liberation that happens.
Do not link our tradition to this nonsense.
It's not that I have to abstractly link it to it. I am the embodiment of that. When I'm out there on the streets preaching, I don't know about you, but I'm preaching in churches every Sunday. I'm out there helping. I didn't ask you that. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm telling you I'm in churches with black people preaching every Sunday. I'm talking about the way in which we leverage the political, moral, and spiritual authority of ordinary black people who, when you and I walk out this place, ordinary black people are going to look at me and see me as the embodiment of their dreams. I'm sure it happens to you as well. They stop me and tell me thank you. They congratulate me for at least having the authority, the courage. I don't take that seriously, but what I take more seriously is their identification with me as a voice piece for their aspirations and hopes. And all I'm saying to you, sir, is that I agree with you in the full sweep of your analysis. I'm saying the everyday, ordinary black folk I know, that I'm in contact with, that I'm with at political organizations, and I'm on the front line. When I spoke yesterday for the Black Caucus of the Democratic National Convention, when those 2,000 people said, what you say represents that, all I'm saying to you, Eddie, is that at the end of the day, we cannot afford the luxury of engaging in abstract reflections on the conditions of black people when what's at stake is a demagogue that you and I both resist, that you and I both think is problematic, getting into office. Once that happens, then we begin to leverage BYP. We begin to also articulate a countervailing narrative that says it ain't either or, it's both and. I believe in the spirit of our people to overcome